Today we're going to be using masking fluid and watercolour to make some very colourful looking greeting cards. Let's get the brushes wet and let's get started. Okay, the first thing we need to do is get an outline image. Now there's plenty of different images on the internet which are free to use, so do a search on the old internet and see if you can find some free images there. Get some low tap masking tape. Now mine's nearly transparent, but washi tape is a good one to use as well actually. I do like using that. And place this around the area where you want to put the drawing. But take your time putting it on as well and crease it down. Because we're going to be wetting the entire background, we need to make sure that the paint doesn't flow underneath those corners. Especially like me and you've got your board on a bit of an angle. Right, here we go. Try to position your image, decide where you want it to be and get a little bit of low tack tape and tape it down. Just a little bit, you don't need much on there. Then use some graphite back paper, so a transfer paper. Shiny side down and then slide that underneath the outline drawing and then you can start to trace it out. Now this is a Faber-Castell, a 0.5 nib pencil, and it's a mechanical pencil, so really useful to use. It just saves having to sharpen the pencil on a regular basis, you know. Trace over the outlines using a medium pressure, don't go too heavy handed with it. And take your time, look at where it's thicker and where it's thinner on there. And also have a peek underneath as well. As long as that tape is in place on the top of the paper so it doesn't move, then you can have a peek underneath and see how well it's transferring through. Also rotate the pencil within your hand as well, especially a mechanical pencil. I tend to find that it still goes a little bit flat in areas as well, so if you rotate the pencil around, you maintain the sharp edge. Now as you can see there's a lot of overspill on this paper, so I'm going to take that off with a putty eraser. And then use my mechanical pencil and go over the top of the tracing, just to kind of firm those lines up a bit more. But that's why I've got the outline drawing by the side of me, so I can just reference to that. Now don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, because at least that way around, when I put another video here on YouTube for you, you shouldn't miss it then, because YouTube should show it to you, okay? So please click on those two buttons down below. Masking fluid. Now I'm actually using a milk bottle lid. I know, a plastic milk bottle lid. It's ideal so you don't have to leave the top of the masking fluid bottle for too long. As for the utensils to use, this one's a ruling pen with a little wheel on the side so you can adjust the actual gap on the tip. Then I've got an old size 00 brush, and I mean an old throwaway one, because masking fluid ruins it. And I've also got a dip pen. That's really good because you can change the nibs on those. So I'm going to load up the dip pen and start to apply the masking fluid. The good thing about using a dip pen, it's like a normal fountain pen really, is that you can press a little bit harder, then that widens the gap at the top, thickening the line at the same time. Then just take your time and go over all the little lines you can see on that drawing. So I'm not trying to do it exactly the same as a drawing on the left hand side here. But what I'm trying to do is fill all the main areas in first of all. Then I can add to that with some more masking fluid at the end of it. Also what I tend to do is start from the inside and pull away, because at least that way around you get a nice tapered line to the edge of it. So I'm going to add a few little extra ones in there at the same time. You can't push with one of these, but you've got to pull with this sort of pen. Otherwise it could just splutter everywhere. Then a few little fine touches here and there, just kind of finalise the masking fluid. As for the colours, I'm going to go for a little bit of indigo. Okay, I do like that colour, it's a lovely blue, isn't it, indigo? And I want my mixes to be more of a sort of milky consistency. So not watery, not creamy, not thick, but milky. So a little bit thicker than water. So we've also got alizarin crimson and also Gambo hue. Using a size 8 brush, I'm going to apply the indigo right from the top of the paper first of all and gradually work my way down. Bearing in mind that my board is on a bit of an angle, so that means the paint will run downhill. Okay, so it gives you different effects that way as well. So working your way down the paper as you go along, just carefully applying that. And you can see the masking fluid starting to stand out already, can't you? Then I'm going to go for the alizarin crimson. Start around the middle first of all, okay, and then gradually you want to start working that back up again so it joins onto the blue. And then when we actually join onto the blue, we'll get more of a purple hue to it, as you can see there. So that's working really well already. Just kind of get a variation of colours on there. And then work your way down the paper as well, near towards the bottom. Oh, just tidy that bit up as well. Then the Gambo hue, and do the same thing with that, working your way back up towards the red, to give more of an orange feel in one area. Then let it dry. And then we need to use a dry finger to remove the masking fluid. Now you can see I've used two different pictures here. So taking your time, trying to get every single piece of masking fluid off the paper. But just be careful not to tear the paper when you do that. and then very slowly remove the masking tape on the side, or in this case a low tack tape. But pull away from the painting as you do so, because if it does tear, you want it to tear away and not towards the picture. Now I've got an embossing tool here, and there's two different ends on it. So you've got embossing or indenting tools, some people call them as well. So I'm going to use a larger end, I think, on this one. Let's just, should I use the larger end? Yeah, I think I will. Find the centre of the card that you've got, okay? Then using a medium pressure, go over that a couple of times, just put an indentation on it. Then you can very carefully fold the card. And you can see the effect just by doing that as well. It works really well, doesn't it? So just imagine the kind of images that you can use for this. You've got a vast amount of wildlife out there, or subjects you can choose from for this effect. Now I do have another video on working with masking fluid. Tell you what, I'll put a link to the top right hand corner for you, okay? I'll see you there.